touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it. Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're getting ready to roll around the dirt again here in the Bridge to Cup series. And last couple races, it's been dominated by Dave Steele Jr. And seems like he's going to be on the front row again here with pole position today. Starting alongside him in second is none other than John Hagan. Then behind them, we've got Lucas Holmes and Noah Hobson, Jack Davis and Adam Starr, Cannon Gage and Anheuser Wachner, Braden Hunt and Andrew Moger, Gannon Bird and Krista Cower, Rich Roy and Bradley Ream, David Bird and Kyler Sestre, Kevin Xavier and Scott Speed, Santi Messi and Luis Rodriguez, Roach and Asiel Escobar, Jamie Horseman and Kat Durham, and then Ryan Little and Alan Malcolm, AJ Kosnoff and Chasey Plays. Then you've got Spinham Walker, Paul Ladino, and Kyle Ottawa and Luxembourg starting at the very back of the field here. Threw in a couple extra laps for today's race. I know it says it's a 25-lap event. We're going to run 32 laps here on this very unique setup of a rallycross track that we've got. And this is truly the second big test for these guys going on a rallycross style track. It's going to be interesting to see how they fare here today.
How quick the commitment line comes up on you into turn 2 there. Don't let him speed because it's a short box right there. Second was on the green flag, wear him out. Even if he says he understands, keep wearing him out to pit off from turn 4. And the third was just love him, keep calm. It's going to be a long, long hunt.
Alrighty, we're getting to the front stretch now here. Maybe not yet. I don't know the track all that well so far. It's very new to me too. Testing on this track went very well. It seemed like we were going to have some exciting racing to behold here. So there's a lot of bumps. There's a lot of chaos that's going to unfold here in just a few moments' time. Pace car makes its hard right onto pit road, and we're going to get going here from the Island Rallycross track. Definitely going to use our drone cam here today. This track didn't have the best of camera angles. As you see, they're going to come roaring into this first turn, and it's going to be the most hectic of them all. Make it through. It looks like everyone's going to make it through cleanly. A bit of a holdup there for Bradley Ream. He got sucker punched to the back there. And so now we've settled in. It looks like everyone kind of singled out here for the moment. And it is Dave Steele Jr. with the early lead here today. John Hagan settles into second, and we know that he's got what it takes to do good at these rallycross tracks. We saw him come out successful in the very first one that we hosted this year at Daytona. Been some slight modifications to our schedule, whereas we would have had heats to establish the race. I'm just rolling with, as long as the track can hold all 32 drivers, we're just going to run it with a full field each time. There's no reason to do heats if we can fill in the whole field. Ooh, Hagan getting roughed up a little bit there by Jack Davis. Hagan drops back to fourth. Lucas Holmes up to second. Lucas Holmes almost won the last race out. He's been kind of a sleeper pick these last few weeks here in Bridge to Cup. Been exciting to see someone like that emerge from the rubble. They get some air off that jump there coming down the hill. Hagan back up to third here. And trying to close the gap on Lucas Holmes again to get back up to second. Impressive run from Cannon Gage moving through the field here. think he started 7th, so not bad. He's moved up to 5th so far. Where did Lucas Holmes start? Lucas Holmes in the 26. Third, so not bad from him either. Welcome in. Looks like we did have someone get crumpled up a little bit. See where this unfolds. Ooh, there we had it. The 4 of Braden Hunt makes contact with the 95 of Scott Speed. And they go up that embankment there. And that's a rough hit for both of them. So everyone at the back. Oh, it looks like Braden still continues though, even though he took as hard a hit as he did. There you are, Osiel running in 25th. Right in front of him, Kyle Ottawa and Ryan Little. But as of right now, Dave Steele Jr. has led all 5 laps early on in the running here. Let's try to find some of the more... There's some racing action going on here between the 19 and the 49. Bradley Ream dropped way to the back of the field upon the start, so he's having a bit of a rough go of it here so far. Fighting with Chasey Plays for 25th place. Wow, look at the momentum the 19 carries through the jump there. Making a deep dive on the inside of the 49 as we're going through the trees, kind of missing the action there. But Bradley Ream, side by side, great racing. Look at Osiel Escobar just a little further up, making a move as well. Getting by the 12 of AJ Kosnoff. A lot of movement here in the back of the field. These guys racing a little extra for their positions. It's impressive. David Bird with a top 10 run here today. And we're really pushing the limits that this computer is capable with a dirt track road course like this. These cars lagging and kind of glitching a little bit here, but still running moderate frame rate. Yeah, our leader's really stretching it out up front there. With 32 laps, I do wager we'll at least see one round of pit stops here today. Oh, Kyle Ottawa with a bold move inside of Osceola here, going on to the front straight. Side by side going through the jumps here. Osceola's going to leg it out and get in front of the 81 for now. Some more side by side racing up there in front of him. Ottawa makes the pass and holds the position. No retirements. The 95 got their damage fixed and continues on here. Now the frame rate continues to be concerning here, but we'll struggle through. Rich Roy getting passed up here. Getting a lot of positions changing. Oh, the 11 dips down pit road here. I don't know if that's scheduled or not. Let's see what was the deal. Didn't look like there was any parts failure on the 11, so Spin'em Walker pitting. Likely a little bit too early to pit comfortably and run the rest of the way. Whoa, the 8 of Osceola got way loose there and is going to have to give up some spots. 19 of Bradley Ream looking like he shot out of a cannon here, moving through the field. 94 of Paul Adino making some moves as well. These guys getting racy at the back end of the field. The Honda teammates side by side here. Getting a little bit closer up to the front half of the field here. We'll look through. It looks like Roach in 10th. Gannon Bird in 9th. Noah Hobson in 8th. Yep, they're recycled. 7th. David Bird in 6th. Jack Davis in 5th. Cannon Gage in 4th. John Hagan still running in 3rd. But we've got a battle brewing at the lead here as Lucas Holmes is caught up to Dave Steele Jr. This might be worth watching here to see if Lucas Holmes has learned something that Steele has not. Lap traffic also might be a factor here. And don't count out John Hagan. He could potentially still catch up to this lead duo and make things interesting for a 3-car fight for the win. Lucas Holmes is one of those guys that had not seen much success in trucks. Was lucky to actually find himself in an opportunity to race Bridge to Cup. And with no truck wins to his name, he's kind of flying under the radar coming into the Bridge to the Cup side to things. Looking for his first ever win in our series of racing. So as it looked like a good race for him last week, this is only backing up the potential that he's got behind the wheel of that number 26 Dodge. Another great run here today. He'll start making things interesting as to whether he's a contender or if he's just been lucky so far getting good finishes like this. Two standouts in Bridge to Cup have been John Hagan and Dave Steele Jr., the other two guys surrounding him. Hagan led the points up until last week where Dave Steele swooped in and stole it away. And so Hagan, a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, trying to get that points lead back, hopefully. It's kind of hard to do when your competition is leading the way. So Hagan with a little bit more motivation to try and fight harder to get the win here today and steal as many points away from Dave Steele Jr. We're about 1/3 of the way through the race, so blitzing by pretty quickly. It'll be at about 1 hour in length here today. Dave Steele Jr., your most recent winner, and really making it hard for anyone else to crack into victory lane the way he's running lately. Going to be interesting seeing how he works his way around the number 4 car here. Hagan makes his way up to second, and lap traffic really making it interesting here as the 19 I see there must have got in a bit of a kerfuffle. Man, and he was running 21st trying to move through the field, so he must have really had something go wrong here. That's the great unknown on the Rallycross racing here, is something could come out and bite you out of nowhere. Same scenario as the other two earlier. Just miscalculated the speed going over the jump, collected Ryan Little, as both of them sustained pretty significant damage there. It's going to move everyone else that was behind them back up a spot. And lap down now is Bradley Ream. So it's going to be hard rest of the way for Bradley Ream to get a good finish here today. Yeah, pardon the general frame lag, as this track is just a little bit harder for my computer and NR to flow with, but definitely got some eye candy here today, seeing these cars jump and go all kinds of crazy. Dave Steele Jr. has led every lap so far. It's been no competition. There's been some attempts to catch up to him, and then he stretches it back out, just kind of like playing cat and mouse right now, holding on to that lead. Still no retirements in the race, which is impressive. Couple cars laps down due to the damage they sustained. Rich Roy has dropped way back. Kevin Xavier running in 24th. So he must have had a scare here. Let's see how he went from 21st to 24. Oh, pit stops. Okay. So most likely a scheduled pit stop there at around just shy of halfway. A lot of them, I think, is what happened. They must have made their pit stops here. One pit stop, I'm thinking, is going to be all they need to make it to the finish here today. Some of them now making the undercut, pitting early. Obviously no cautions since we're on a road course, so you just gotta survive and avoid getting in a wreck, because it'll really put you way behind at the end of the day. Hagen's going to have to get by the number 4 here as quickly as possible so he can start cooking on reaching the leader. This time by, once he gets past the start-finish line, we will be officially halfway. And it seems like he'll stay out this lap. Hagen stays out, Holmes stays out, Gage, Davis, all of them staying out. Gonna stretch it a little bit further here. Now, we've seen the pit strategy really come into factor the last couple road course races, especially just a couple nights ago with Sonoma, where it ended up almost changing the whole outcome of the race. Trevor Walker had led the initial start of the race and waited and pitted a lot later than everyone else. Well, due in part to that, those that had pitted earlier had fresher tires and were making up nearly seconds on the leader. So that when Trevor Walker pitted, not only did he pit late, but he also had a bad pit stop, which cost him about an extra 5 seconds on top of that. And he ended up losing the lead to his teammate Trevor Vaden. But was able to muster the advantage of those tires to race back around him in the closing laps. Gave us a thrilling finish for sure at Sonoma. But a lot of that could play into our pit windows as well on a rallycross track. I don't think tires are as significant here on the dirt, but it could still kind of sway the way the race comes out. Staying out another lap, and we've got a taker from 5th, Jack Davis, David Bird, Noah Hobson, Gannon Bird, Anheuser Wagner, so about everyone from 5th on back so far. So our leaders really pushing as late as they can. The fall off on time's really not too significant. Looks like Hagan lost about 2 seconds. Dave Steele really only lost about 1 second from the start of the race. So that's why it's a little bit more unorthodox when we throw in dirt. You know, that's a whole nother wrinkle added to the whole, you know, season of racing here we've got, because whatever you think for road course, you might as well throw that in the garbage, because road course, rally course is just a whole nother beast. Now, the one thing I think Dave Steele needs to be careful of here is that he doesn't stay out too many more laps and get caught up with those leaving pit road. And then he could be putting himself in a dangerous territory of getting in a wreck. But here he comes, making his one and only pit stop. Hagan behind him, Gage and Holmes. That will conclude those that haven't pitted yet. Osceola up into the top 20. And maybe even Xavier might be able to catapult himself up into a top 20 position here. It's going to take a whole lap to let things sort out. Wow, the 09 is going to blow by the 26 here. So Jack Davis with the earlier pit stop is actually going to help him make up some time here. Cannon Gage, John Hagan, and Dave Steele still far out front in the lead. David Bird should be 5th. Yep, Kevin Xavier in 16th and fighting for a top 15 run right now. And Osceola Escobar 21st, should be 20th. I think at the line they might have been fighting with someone coming off pit road. So Osceola in 20th. There you go. Andrew Moger was the one that was coming off pit road. Those that were involved in wrecks still running very far off the pace. Not in any chance to getting a win here today. 95 even pulling off for another pit stop to try and get that car running a little bit more comfortable. Oh, Hagan having to make another pit stop. That's unexpected. Did they perhaps... Oh, fuel damage. So I think we're starting to see where the nasty jumps on this track are going to start striking. The violence that these cars endure here in the Rallycross conditions seems to have bitten John Hagan with a fuel leak on track. And that's going to give everyone else another spot. As you see there, the likes of Rich Roy in 24th, 25th. Hagan is going to drop way back. And I don't even know how quickly they're going to get that fixed. He could go a lap down. There, he's going to be at the tail end of the field. But the damage has already been done. 28th, as it looks to be. Hagan was one of the strongest contenders here today. Dave Steele just kind of minding his P's and Q's, waiting for the laps to tick down. Good thing you mentioned the upgrades too. We only have about 2 weeks left before the upgrades get locked in for the rest of 2024. I've got so many things on my plate. I've been trying to juggle what feels like chainsaws sometimes. But my goal is to help at least finalize upgrades for 2024 so that everyone gets at least the same advantage to upgrade their vehicles and utilities fairly and distributed evenly across all divisions and whatnot. But yeah, coming April 1st is the deadline for finalizing upgrades in our series. Mostly just a factor to keep it fair so that not everyone is upgrading to 100 max upgrades throughout the year. It kind of keeps it balanced in a sensor form. Impressively, Jack Davis has worked his way up to second here. Can engage up to third. That bumps Lucas Holmes back to fourth. David Bird now up into the top 5 for the first time today. Noah Hobson, Gannonbird, Adam Starr, Anheuser Walkner, and Alan Malcolm rounding out your top 10. As we continue, Santi Messi, Jamie Horseman, Benham Walker, Roach, Luis Rodriguez, GP Luxembourg, Krista Cower, and now Osiel Escobar up to 19th. As unfortunately Xavier kind of dropping a little bit here. Falls into 20th. But you can see there's a lot. Oh, the 11 dips off pit road, so that's another casualty perhaps from Rallycross racing here. 11 doesn't say what was the problem, so perhaps even the game didn't know what was wrong with the 11. Man, Hagen is going to have to get lucky and gain spots by attrition here because at the pace everyone else is running, there's no way that Hagen's going to catch up for many spots by the end of this one. Lap traffic in the way of our leader right now. Tentative lead the danger zone for Dave Steele Jr., getting alongside an unpredictable lapper. We'll keep the cameras rolling on the lead until he gets by the lapped car. It's taking longer for Dave Steele to actually execute the pass here. AJ turned a 142 last lap. Compare that to a 133 for Dave Steele Jr. 133.4 for Jack Davis. This could give Jack Davis an opportunity to close the window. Seems deceiving though. I think this is a much faster lap for Kosnoff. It doesn't look like he's holding the 35 up all that much. Almost looks like he's starting to drive away from the leader. A 134.1, so fastest lap for Kosnoff there. Didn't slow up Dave Steele very much at all. Interesting what happens when a lap car gets open track in front of him and starts running even better than what he thought he could run. More takers down pit road as things continue to get all bobbled up here at the mid-pack. There's a lot of positions on the line here, all the way up to 11th place on the line. And they're racing very hard. This battle here very much worth the price of admission today. And the 90 getting a little bit slowed up there. This could open the window for some of these guys. Ooh, there's a bump there by the 48. Krista got lucky that they didn't hook up on that turn. That's been the danger corner so far. Osiel flirting with a top 15 right now. Ally car of Kyle Ottawa right there behind him. Man, the gap is 5 seconds from the lead to second place. Dave Steele, I think, may have very well led every lap, even with pit stops in question. Osiel's up beside Luxembourg here for a pass, going down the front straight. Sitting in 16th. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that was hairy. Roach and Rodriguez fighting for 12th. It's impressive the separation. You know, your top 10 position kind of out there on a Sunday cruise. Don't have any worries in the world. 135.4, but these guys behind him, they're turning faster laps and are looking ferocious, ready to move through the pack if they have to. It's a good thing I added some laps onto this race, or else this would be the white flag lap around the track. We're on for some extra 7 laps here tonight. Since there were no heats, I just added what would have been a heat duration into the main event to give us the grand total of 32 laps here. Going down the front straight, let's see what Luxembourg has for Roach. Roach gets a little bit sideways there. Things are getting a little settled down here, but still a lot of commotion. Look at Roach making a dive bomb move on the 98 of Krista Cower. Krista might be on the backward spiral here as she's now under attack by GP Luxembourg. And that's going to give the 8 of Escobar a chance. Whoa. And we still don't know that we might have some more people drop out with mechanical failures. We did see Hagen get struck down. Here comes a bold charge from Kyle Ottawa. Getting side by side here for position. This will be 16th place on the line. Ooh, there's another mechanical failure there. The 84 of Luxembourg. Oh, and he gets pegged by the 94. Damaged wheel for the 84. What a bummer. And I think the 94 is going to have to baby it around with the damage he sustained there. One that made out like a big winner on all that was Osiel Escobar, as he was able to get back by Kyle Ottawa and is now fighting for 14th place on track. So this is where it gets very interesting as we start seeing more and more mechanical failures. Might have the perfect distance in this race. Kind of gives us a little bit of everything. A good long run, and then the ominous storm that awaits at the end. Not even your leader is safe. You could always have a mechanical failure out of first place. He finally got by the 12. But that gap still 5.5 seconds back to second place Jack Davis. Third place, under attack, Lucas Holmes trying to make the pass on Cannon Gage here. Now our top 10 changing up a little bit as Jamie Horseman gets by Alan Malcolm to take 10th place. What's crazy is the fact that even Osiel Escobar is still very much a candidate to get a top 10 the way he's running. The race kind of coming to these guys in the midfield as they're moving through. All the cars dropping like flies. Unfortunately, I don't think this one's got the pace to make it to the finish. Was holding on to a top 10 for the longest time, but he's going to be swallowed up by the competitors behind him. Now losing 11th place to Luis Rodriguez. Alan Malcolm dropping backwards. Ooh, and here comes Roach. That's going to drop him another spot. Made it look easy. Wow, 3 seconds off the pace for Alan Malcolm. So down to 4 laps to go, or rather 3 laps to go. Dave Steele has been overly dominant here today. AJ Kosnov just kind of playing a game here with our leader. Lap down car, and he still wants to give Dave Steele Jr. some trouble. More spots changing hands here around the top 10 position. Krista Cower making the right move here to try and get alongside Malcolm. Malcolm jets out, driving off a little bit here. Osiel getting alongside the outside groove. Our lead's shrinking a little bit, down to 4 seconds. Could there be something going wrong with our leader? Turned a 135 paired up to Jack Davis's 134. You're gonna have to have a lot go wrong here in the closing laps to lose it, as we're down to 2 laps. We'll see if maybe it was just a fluke lap for him. .996. Jack Davis with a 135.0. So yeah, it was just a fluke lap for our leader. John Hagen's worked his way back up to 22nd here. And that's not for position against the multiple lap down GP Luxembourg. Hagen's going to be bummed to have missed out on so many points here today after having a car competitive enough to run up front with the leaders. The lead staying relatively unchanged is Dave Steele is going to cruise up here and take the white flag with one more lap to go here today. White flag waving in the air coming down the front straight. The number 35 Busch Light Subaru there takes the last lap. Man, Jack Davis not too far behind, 3.5 seconds. Steele can't make a mistake because competition could pounce on him. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. There's a lot more separation throughout the field now on the last lap, as everyone's just going to have to soldier along to the finish. Jack Davis giving it his all to try and run down our leader. As you can see, not too far off into the distance, that 35 sits. Jack Davis doing just about everything he can to try and pull off a miracle here. And that's what it would be. It would be a miracle if he could get it done and win this race somehow. Dave Steele has led from flag to flag. Don't want to jinx it yet, but he's only got a couple more corners to go here. One more turn and the long front straight. Jack Davis is going to come up just shy, finishing in second, as Dave Steele wins back-to-back races in the Bridge to Cup Series. Looking like third place might belong to Cannon Gage. Record best for him here in Bridge to Cup. 6th place, David Bird. This battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, Roach. 12th, Adam Starr. 13th, Osiel Escobar gets by both of his competitors there to take 13th at the finish line. 14th for Krista Cower, 15th for Kyle Ottawa, 16th for Alan Malcolm, 17th Kyler Sustre, 18th Kevin Xavier, 19th Chasey Plays, 20th Kat Durham, 21st Spinham Walker, 22nd John Hagen, 23rd Andrew Moger, 24th Santi Messi, 25th Ryan Little, 26th Rich Roy. And I think we might need to see a replay on exactly the last lap there for Osiel Escobar. So I think it all started right here from the front straight as they finally get a good run on the number 1. 98 gets by him and maybe carries a bit too much speed going into this first corner segment. And here comes Osiel with a full head of steam. Gets right there up alongside Krista. And this has been that danger turn all day that these guys have been wrecking. Osiel just keeps it clean, minds his manners, and makes a solid pass to get by 2 cars in 1 lap, 15th to 13th, putting on a good show at the end of this one. Overall, though, congratulations to the 35 of Dave Steele Jr. getting back-to-back wins here in Bridge to Cup action. It was a great race. It was a lot of unpredictable, which made it exciting to follow. And definitely we will make a return to this track next year. This one of my favorite Rallycross tracks that we found so far. But I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with each Rallycross track we go to. I've tested them. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot of testing to do as long as the cars don't beat themselves to death and you don't have people pitting every lap for mechanical damage. It's usually, that's about all the testing you can do. And we found some pretty good Rallycross tracks, and this was only 2 of quite a few that we found that were worth watching a show. So. And that might be something too we'll have to keep an eye on, is the championships between track types. So there might be a Rallycross champion that's different than your overall champion. Short tracks, speedways, super speedways. It'll piece together little by little. I might not do much points tallying up until we get closer to the end, and then we'll truly know what the what battles are on the lines between the different track types and whatnot. So 6 races through Bridge to Cup twice now. Win has gone to Dave Steele Jr. It's crazy. It seems just like yesterday we're race number 1. We're 6 races in. Pretty good. Good pace, good action. And thanks for all y'all tuning in. Makes it more enjoyable having an audience with these things. So with that, I will get points tallied up, post it on Discord. Y'all know the drill. Hopefully, y'all have a good weekend. This will be the last stream for this week, as I'll be off and away for the weekend. And back and at it come Tuesday with the next truck race. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Glad you can make it. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the next one. This is Jakester signing out.